Well, the weather outside is chilly and unforgiving, and that can only mean one thing. It's college hoops season. We are live from the Jack Manley Wellness and Athletic Center here on the Catonsville campus of the Community College of Baltimore County for women's college basketball action. Hi, everybody. I'm Isaac Donsky, and here today we are bringing you live today's contest between the Jayhawks of Jamestown Community College and the Cardinals of CCBC Catonsville. Catonsville comes into today's matchup sitting pretty at third in the Region 20 standings with a 3-1 record. Their last game out was a bit of a scare against Monroe College, but they successfully rallied to win 78-70. Big leaders for the team have been point guard Morgan Gauss, who is scoring an average of 20.3 points per game, and is also racking up 5.5 steals per game. Also another big player to watch out for is guard Sydney Spence. 6 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists per game for the Cardinals. On the other hand, the Jayhawks from Jamestown Community College have made the trek down here from Western New York for a weekend stint playing in a series of Maryland community college teams. Jamestown is sitting at 2-3. Their last game, they scored their second win of the season against Lakeland Community College, 75-67. Leading the way for the Jayhawks have been forward Hannah Hicks, who's scoring 15.2 points per game and 10.6 rebounds per game. Defensively, they've been led by Dazani Harden, 3.8 steals per game, averaging 4.4 assists per game. We'll have the starting lineups for you in just a second, but first up, we'll just introduce the coaches for today's game. Coaching the Jayhawks will be head coach Dave Turnbell and assistant coach Bree Davis. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, head coach Stretch Brandon and assistant coaches Catherine Harmon and Andre Eiffel. We'll be right back with the start of today's game, as well as the starting lineups and a little bit from our PA announcer, Richard Keller. Well, before we turn it over to PA announcer Richard Keller, ladies and gentlemen, just want to introduce the starting lineups for today's game, as we've just been informed of them. And we'll start with the visiting Jayhawks from Jamestown. Their starting lineup consists of the following: freshman guard number 11, Jessica Beeler from Dunkirk, New York. Freshman guard number 20, Dawzani Harden from Erie, Pennsylvania. Freshman forward number 21, Hannah Hicks from Cleveland, Ohio. Freshman guard number 24, Kimmy Nance from Dunkirk, New York. And freshman guard number 34, Destiny Evans from Peoria, Illinois. Meanwhile, moving on to the Cardinals, their starters will be as follows: freshman shooting guard number 2, Belinda Glenn from Forest Park High School. Freshman shooting guard number 3, Tania Hogg from Charles Herbert Flowers High School. Freshman power forward number 10, Samisha Connor from Albana Lake Hodge Comprehensive School. Sophomore point guard number 12, Morgan Gauss from Oldfields High School. And freshman shooting guard number 15, Amari McKnight from the National Christian Academy. And a shout out to McKnight and Connor, who both participated on the Catonsville women's soccer team, for those of you who kept up with their games. Cardinals will be in black with red numbers. Meanwhile, the Jayhawks will be in white with the dark green numbers. As we turn it over now to PA announcer Richard Keller. The voice of the Cardinals, Richard Keller, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go. Belinda Glenn and Hannah Hicks will be at center court to tip it off as we get set for this game, the first of a doubleheader. Be sure to stick around later tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for men's basketball action, also against the Jayhawks of Jamestown. As here we go. And immediately McKnight grabs the tip as we're underway. There's a bit of a noticeable size disadvantage here. The Catonsville player is a bit taller. As layup attempt there by Gauss. Picked up by the Jayhawks. Harden with the ball. Passes out to Nance. Shot is scooped up by McKnight. McKnight fires out to Glenn. Bounces off the rim. Rebounded by Jamestown. Beeler goes to Evans. Pass nearly dropped by Nance. Back out to Beeler for three. So close. Rebound out. And it was out of bounds. Gauss flips it to McKnight. McKnight back to Gauss for three. Got it! First points of the game go to the Cardinals. Check that, that was two. Little premature on the celebration. That was a two-pointer. Now trying to respond. Here's a shot by Evans. It's in. We're tied. Gauss tosses to McKnight. McKnight challenged by Evans. Loses track of the ball, and it's scooped up by Jamestown. Here's Harden. She's going to be fouled. Beeler will inbound it. Inbound is to Hicks. Wrapped up, jump ball. Possession will stick with the Jayhawks. So Beeler will inbounds once again. Here's a shot by Evans. Got it. Gauss setting up a play. With the shot, bounces off the rim, rebound Jayhawks. Finds Harden with the shot. Little too much power on that pass. It goes out of bounds. Cardinals will take over possession. Glenn to McKnight. Fighting for that basket. Not enough power in that skyhook, but it's knocked back and bounced by Glenn into the arms of the Jayhawks. And there's a foul going to be called there, I believe. And that foul was on number 3, Tania Hogg. And into the game for the Cardinals, number 23, Tykira Burden, number 11, Nicaea Marshall, our first substitutions of the game. Here's a shot, went up and over the basket. That was Hannah Hicks. And here come the Cardinals. Gauss slips, loses control, ball is knocked out of bounds. Cardinals will retain possession. Inbounds pass to Gauss. Driving towards the basket. Gauss bounces out the side of the backboard, and a foul called. That was Kimmy Nance with the foul. The foul was called on Kimmy Nance, number 24 for the Jayhawks. So shooting two will be Morgan Gauss. Gauss hits it, and we're tied, 4-4. It's been a bit of a rocky start to this one for the Cardinals. Jayhawks have looked much more in control in the opening 4 minutes of this first quarter. Nance finds Beeler. Rebound picked up by Evans. Another rebound, foul called. That foul was on Amari McKnight, number 15. Shooting two for the Jayhawks will be Hannah Hicks. And the first one glances off the rim. Second chance here. That one also bounces off the rim. Rebound picked up by the Cardinals. Almost lose control of it. And it's knocked out of bounds. Jayhawks retain possession and a timeout taken. Substitution. Sydney Spence, number 0, into the game now for the Cardinals. Also entering the game for the Jayhawks is number 10, Lauren Alpha. Beeler to inbound. Now to take a shot from 3. No good. Evans with the rebound. No good again. Bit of hot potato there with the ball. See who comes out with it. It's Hicks. And a foul is called. Jump ball. Possession will go to the Cardinals here. Now a timeout is called. So after a brief timeout where both teams got a bit of a stern talking to from the coaches, we're back underway. Gauss carrying the ball up the court, passes out to Spence. Along with Gauss, Spence has been one of the big leaders for the Cardinals. Nearly loses control. Flips the ball out to, that was Nicaea Marshall. Now Spence to McKnight from 3, bangs it in there. Drains that 3, Amari McKnight. Let's see how the Jayhawks will respond here. Beeler, good D there. Back to Beeler for 3. No good. Rebound Jayhawks and a foul. Mari McKnight, the foul was on her. I believe that's her second of the game. As Hannah Hicks to the line for 2. Drains the first one. Second one good too. A 1-point game with a 1-point game halfway through the first quarter here. The score, Catonsville 7, Jamestown 6. Nicia Marshall carries it up. She flips it to Spence. Spence looking for an opening, fighting to the basket. No good, rebound Jamestown. Harden flips it to Alpha, who scores. Jamestown takes the lead. Now the Cardinals trying to respond. Gauss fighting. Flips it to Kamani. Rebound scooped up by the Jayhawks. Oh, that was a big collision there. And a chance for Alpha. Scores. 10-7. Jayhawks on a bit of an explosion there. And a timeout taken by the Cardinals. Their second one of the quarter. Will be a 30-second timeout. Cardinals looked like they had gotten things under control there for a second, but Jamestown with a sudden scoring outburst, courtesy of freshman guard Lauren Alpha out of Mayville, New York. Here's a three, no good. Rebound once again gobbled up by the Jayhawks. Beeler finds Alpha, back to Beeler. Got a wide open Harden and a travel called. Harden was wide open on the far side of the court. That could have been deadly. Tania Hogg checking into the game now for the Cardinals. So we have 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here is Gauss with the ball. Gauss flips it to Cash Waters. That ball knocked out of bounds. Possession will go to Catonsville. Waters finds Spence. Spence fights to the basket and is fouled. Foul was on Harden. Hogg will inbound it to Waters. Looking for an opening for three. No good. Rebound picked up once again by the Jayhawks. They have been killing Catonsville in the rebounding game. Here's Alpha. Little too much power on that three. It's gonna fall out of bounds. Cardinals will take over possession. Score still 10-7 in favor of the Jayhawks. That pass bounces off the shins of a Jayhawk. And somehow Sydney Spence finds a way to score. Ball was deflected off the leg of an opponent right back to her. Alpha finds Beeler. Beeler to Harden. Double teams. Harden finds Destiny Evans. Here's Beeler for three. No good. Ball will once again fall out of bounds. Possession to the Cardinals. Into the game now for the Jayhawks comes number 22, freshman guard Zalika Stevens out of Ajax, Ontario, one of two international players in the game today. Here is Gauss. Flips it out to Spence. Spence directing traffic, gets a nice pick, Flips it back to Gauss for 3. Oh, so close. Rebound once again scooped up by the Jayhawks. Deep pass here for Beeler. Got it. And the lead is extended once again by the Jayhawks. Here's Cash Waters fighting to the basket. No good. Again, the rebound scooped up by the Jayhawks. They have been hogging rebounds in this game so far. Beeler passes out to Evans. No good. Rebound picked up this time by the Cardinals. That's a change of pace. Here's Waters with a jumper. And guess who? Jayhawks rebound, and a foul is called. Foul is going to be on number 3, Tania Hogg, I believe. Just as expected, Hogg will be leaving the game now, and as in comes Belinda Glenn to replace her. Destiny Evans will be shooting 2. First one bounces harmlessly off the backboard. One more shot for Evans. This one, she banks in. Catonsville now needing a response. Here's a deep shot by Glenn. Oh, so close to going in. Rebound once again scooped up by the Jayhawks. Harden fighting to the basket. Bit of a clumsy attempt there. Evans, no good. Evans with the second chance. Got it, despite being mobbed by 4 Cardinals. Now here is Spence. Not much help. Does it herself, gets it. Sydney Spitz with an excellent jumper, making the score 15-11 in favor of the Jayhawks. And that ball stolen away by Glenn. Finds Gauss. Back to Glenn. And not sure what was going on there, some miscommunication. Pass looked like it was going to Kamani, and instead it's picked up by Beeler, who gives it right back to Cash Waters. Waters just stole it right from her. In broad daylight, too, as Spence with a jumper. No good. Rebound scooped up by Harden. That was a kooky series of events right there. As some substitutions coming in now for the Cardinals. Into the game comes Samisha Connor and Nicaea Marshall. Also into the game for the Jayhawks, Kimmy Nance. We've got less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. Beeler finds Evans. Good defense. They're going to have to reset their play here. Nance for 3, airballs it, and it falls out of bounds. Cardinals take over. 25.2 seconds to go in the first quarter. The score 15-11 in favor of the Jayhawks. Now here's Marshall. Flips it out to Spence. Spence with a nice spin. Passes out to Glenn. Trying to find the soft spots in the Jayhawks defense. That was a 15-second violation. Good opportunity there, wiped out by a costly mistake. 4 seconds to go here. Basket doesn't count for Hicks as the buzzer sounded before she could get it off. As we've reached the end of the first quarter here, folks, the score 15-11 in favor of the Jayhawks. We'll be right back for the start of the second quarter. So as we get started here for the start of the second quarter, score 15-11 in favor of the Jayhawks. For the most part, it has been a game so far in which rebounding has been crucial. And for the Jayhawks, now everything's gone their way. Harden finds Nance to Beeler for three. No good there. Rebound Cardinals. Little too much power there by Spence. And Coach Stretch not a big fan of that. Mistakes like that can cost you in the long run. Jayhawks now with the possession. Here's Nance driving into the paint, putting up a bit of a weak jump. Jump ball, Cardinals get it. Nance had lost possession. Hannah Hicks briefly got possession, but the Cardinals were there to pounce on it. Now Catonsville will try to erase a 4-point deficit. Not the end of the world, as a travel is called there. Well, when mistakes like that are made, it does seem a bit like the end of the world. Mari McKnight now checking into the game as she replaces Samisha Connor for the Cardinals. Beeler goes to Evans for three. No good. Rebound once again picked up by the Jayhawks. Now here's Nance again, getting physical in the paint and a foul. That's going to be a charge on 24, Kimmy Nance. Marshall passes to Spence, fights for it, catches her own rebound, then loses track of it, and it's picked up by the Jayhawks. Harden flips it to Hicks, and an easy bucket. Spence flips it to McKnight, and the scoring drought ends for the Cardinals as McKnight banks it in. Harden finds Nance. Is now a 6-point lead for the Jayhawks. Spence charges to the basket, misses the layup, rebounded by the Jayhawks. Here comes Lauren Alpha, flips it out to Beeler. Beeler goes for a dangerous pass into the middle of a clump of bodies, and it is knocked out of bounds. Jayhawks will retain possession as substitutes are headed in. Ethel Keys Kamani comes into the game for the Cardinals, as does Morgan Gauss. Zalika Stevens comes into the game for the Jayhawks. Here's Hicks, fights for it, doesn't get it. Rebound Stevens. Stevens flips it out to Alpha, who passes to Harden. Harden over the middle to Evans. That bounces off the rim. Everyone lost track of it for a second there. Hicks with the rebound. Shot blocked. Goes to Alpha. Back to Harden. Harden falls. Flips it to Alpha on her way down. Flips it to Hicks. Hicks to Evans. 8 seconds on the shot clock. 3-second violation there. That was a lot of passing, but unfortunately for the Jayhawks, there was no result. A lot of back and forth and passing for no points as the Cardinals take over. Cash Waters directing traffic, trying to set up a play. Says, fine, I'll do it myself. Misses the layup, spins around, gets her own rebound, and gets it in. Way to never give up there for Cash Waters, the sophomore shooting guard from Western High School. 19-15 the score now. Jayhawks continue to lead. Hicks flips it to Evans. Easy basket. And a timeout called. "30-second timeout for the Cardinals. So far, this game has been a battle of rebounds, and it can be clearly seen in the totals. Through 1.5 quarters, Jayhawks 25 rebounds to just 12 for the Cardinals. As I mentioned in the first, as Gauss goes for a deep shot here, bounces off the back of the rim. And once again, another crucial rebound by the Jayhawks. Harden finds Hicks. Hicks to Evans, loses track of it. Scooped up by Marshall. Marshall loses track of it, scooped up by Alpha. Evans, shot, got it. And the lead continues to be extended for the Jayhawks. Here's Waters for a three. No good. Rebound Jayhawks. Harden to Evans. They fall. Foul was on Catonsville. Nicia Marshall. Jayhawks will inbound it. Evans flips it to Harden. Harden to Marshall. Excuse me, Evans, and Evans scores again. Destiny Evans is taking this game over. "13 points so far for Evans as Gauss banks it in. Hicks swallowed up. Finds Stevens wide open. Stevens flips it to Harden. Here's Evans. No good. Rebound Hicks. And Hicks makes it. Gauss contested, fouled. That'll be 2 shots for Morgan Gauss. Zalika Stevens. Foul was on Zalika Stevens, number 22 for the Jayhawks. 2 shots for Morgan Gauss. Gauss banks the first one, misses the second, so the score remains 27-18 in favor of the Jayhawks. Harden to Alpha, back to Harden, back to Alpha. Alpha with the shot, misses. Rebound once again goes to Hicks, who scores. Boy, Hicks always seems to be in a position to make that shot. As here's Amari McKnight, no good, bounces off the rim. Rebound once again goes to the Jayhawks. The rebound game is killing the Cardinals right now. As, oh, that was a dangerous shot stolen by Morgan Gauss. One player to beat. Gauss fighting for the basket, fouled. Foul was on Harden. Samisha Connor entering the game now for the Cardinals, as Morgan Gauss once again at the line for two. Knocks in the first. Knocks in the second. We got about 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter, as Tania Hogg knocks that ball away from Hicks. Spence for three, no good. Rebound, Evans. Hogg. Man, Hogg playing great defense, steals the ball away. Got to look out behind her. Alpha, ball knocked out of bounds. Cardinals will retain the ball. Beeler and Nance will now enter the game for the Jayhawks. And Gauss got it, and one. That foul was on Kimmy Nance, as Gauss will go to the line for one. Got it. And just like that, after a brief stint in which it felt like the world was ending for the Cardinals, it's back to a 6-point game. Catonsville down 23-29 with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the first half. Beeler driving up the court. Finds Evans for three. Airballs it. Alpha with the rebound. Knocked out of bounds. Possession to the Jayhawks. Hicks will inbound. Bit of a weak pass there. Beeler picks it up. Covered. Finds Hicks. Got it. Hicks has been deadly in the paint tonight. Now Gauss finds Hogg. Hogg under pressure, puts up a jumper and banks it in. As we have 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Beeler, that shot was deflected and picked up by Gauss. Gauss flips it to Spence, spins, no good, gets her own rebound. And that pass is deflected and picked up by Stevens, who loses control of it, and it's stolen away by Glenn, or at least it was stolen away by Glenn. Evans got it and is fouled. Destiny Evans. will go to the line, shooting 2 for the Jayhawks. Nails the first one. And the second. Gauss, another contested pass. Ball finds its way to Cash Waters, now out to Marshall. Driving towards the basket, loses control of the ball. Blocked by Hicks. Beeler, not sure what was happening there, but the ball rolls out of bounds and possession will go to the Cardinals. We got 1 minute left in the first half, ladies and gentlemen. The score 33-25 in favor of the Jayhawks. As Hogg finds Marshall. Marshall passes out to Gauss, a bit of a dangerous pass. Gauss with the jumper. No good, rebound Jayhawks. Beeler finds Stevens to Alpha. Alpha for 3, got it. Excuse me, that was 2. It's a 10-point game with 20 seconds to go. Waters setting up a play, fighting for it, gets fouled as the ball bounces off the top of the backboard. A little too much power on that jump shot. Foul was on Jessica Beeler. That is her first of the game. Cash Waters will go to the line for 2. There will be 10.5 seconds left in the second quarter after this shot. So Waters nails the first and the second. 10 seconds to go. Beeler tries to slide through 2 defenders, briefly loses control. Evans with the shot, misses, and that's the end of the first half. The score, 35-27 in favor of the Jayhawks. We'll be back shortly in 15 minutes, folks, for the beginning of the second half. The score again, 35-27 in favor of the Jayhawks of Jamestown Community College. We'll be back. And we are back for the second half of today's women's basketball contest between the Jayhawks of Jamestown Community College and the Cardinals of CCBC Catonsville. The story of the first half, simply put, rebounds. Catonsville has been rebounded half to hell and back. The tally after one half, Jamestown 37, Catonsville 14. Much of the work in the paint has been done by Jamestown's two big players, Destiny Evans and Hannah Hicks. Evans with 14 rebounds, 17 points, Hicks with 10 points. Leading the way for the Cardinals so far, Morgan Gauss with 12 points, and 5 for Amari McKnight. The score, 35-27 as we begin the third quarter, in favor of the Jayhawks. Before we start this, a quick shout out to everybody here at CCBC Catonsville for getting this event underway. And also a shout out to my cameraman, Owen, doing a good job tonight. As we're underway with the second half, Hardin immediately loses control of the ball, and it falls out of bounds. Beeler will inbound. Excuse me. Beeler does to Hicks, who spins. No basket. That's a travel. Possession to the Cardinals. Gauss finds Hogg. To McKnight. No good there. Rebound taken by Stevens. Evans to Hardin. Ball's tipped. Stevens gets a hand on it. Finds Hicks in the paint, fighting for it, and gets it. Boy, every time that Hannah Hicks has gotten the ball in the paint, there has been points at the end of it. Cash Waters. Bad pass there. Picked up by Evans. Briefly loses control, but finds Hardin. Hardin out to Beeler. Beeler for three. No good. Back to Beeler. Now to Evans. No good. Ball knocked out of bounds. Cardinals will take possession. Gauss to McKnight. Over to Spence. Spence back to McKnight. Dangerous pass there, and it's picked off by the Jayhawks. Hardin with a good move there. Tipped almost out of bounds. Beeler grabs it. Beeler back to Hardin. Hardin thought about it. Goes back to Beeler. Foul is called there on Morgan Gauss. Ball will be inbounded by Hicks. Hicks finds Evans. Gauss nearly intercepts, but Hardin hangs on. Hardin out to Beeler for three. No good. Rebound goes again to the Jayhawks. Hicks fighting for it. Nearly loses control. Does lose control. Regains it. It's going to be tough to beat Hannah Hicks in the paint. Spence to Gauss. Gauss with a floater. No good. Rebound once again picked up by the Jayhawks. Hardin with a nice little pass there to Beeler, but the ball gets knocked out of bounds. Beeler couldn't get a hand on it. Cardinals take over possession. Here's a deep pass there. Jump ball. Possession to Catonsville. 9-point game here in the third quarter. Chance of defense ringing out here from the Cardinals bench as a foul is called. The foul was on Cash Waters, number 1 for the Cardinals. Beeler, short pass to Harden. Harden with the pass to nobody, out of bounds, Cardinals take possession. Big break there for the Cardinals. Waters, quick pass to McKnight, getting physical with a hook shot, no good. Rebound. Here's Evans, blocked, and a foul. Excuse me, ball was out of bounds, possession to the Jayhawks. Good block there by Sidney Spence. Evans nearly gets shoved out of bounds by the defense, and here's Hannah Hicks. Instead of going for it, gives it out to Stevens, who drains it. Gauss, uncontested to the basket for 2. Evans. Cash Waters gets fouled again. And now into the game for the Cardinals comes Tykira Burden and Belinda Glenn. Oh, check that. Glenn going back out in favor of Tania Hogg. Excuse me, Tania Hogg. Beeler will inbound. Finds Stevens. Back to Beeler. No one was there, and the ball rolls into the basket, making it an 11-point game in favor of the Jayhawks. Here's a shot by Hogg. No good. Rebound picked up. Evans driving to the basket, fighting for it. No good. Rebound this time goes in favor of the Cardinals. Don't get to say that much in this game so far. Here's Hogg. A little bit of fancy dribbling there. And that pass stolen away by Harden. Harden driving to the basket. Got it. Here's Spence, jumper, bounces harmlessly off the backboard. Hicks to Beeler, to Evans. Back out to Harden as the Jayhawks look to reset here. Now Harden drives to the basket. Got it. Second time in a row she's done that. Waters with a 3. No good. Rebound Hicks. Harden, deep pass. Intercepted by Gauss. And Gauss fighting her way for a bucket. Got it. Harden trying to shake off Waters. Excuse me, that's Spence. Manages to shake off Spence. No foul for a charge there, or is there? Yes. They might want to get the shot clock checked out here. kind of lingering after it goes off. So that foul was on Jamestown. Cardinals take over possession, down 47-34 with 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Oh, that was a rough possession there. Waters saves it, drives, loses control, jump ball, and it will go in favor of the Jayhawks. Harden trying to charge the basket once again. Gets fouled, so it'll be 2 shots for Dalzani Harden. Drains the first. And the second. Here's Marshall, no good. Rebound Hicks. Stolen away by Waters. And, well, an opportunity like that only comes around once in a while. No luck for the Cardinals tonight. Beeler for 3, no good. Rebound Catonsville. Marshall finds Glenn. No good. Rebound, Evans, and a travel. Timeout called by the Cardinals. Oh, the rebounding continues to be lopsided here in the third quarter, as it's now 50 total rebounds for the Jayhawks compared to just 18 for Catonsville. The score 49-34 with 2 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. Catonsville's done a good job of shutting down Jamestown's Destiny Evans, who's been their leading scorer. On the other hand, Morgan Gauss has been shouldering the brunt of the work for the Cardinals with 16 points. So Catonsville will inbounds. Morgan Gauss will do the honors as the Cardinals try to erase a pretty hefty deficit here. Marshall, bit of a risky pass to Gauss, fights for it and gets it. And Catonsville has switched to playing a heavy full court press, and it may have worked. No, it did not. Kimmy Nance picks it up, flips it to Evans. Evans got it. Good thinking on the part of Catonsville's coaches. But that defensive strategy didn't seem to work there. The execution didn't work out. That pass knocked away and stolen away as Nance fighting for it. Risky pass to Beeler. Beeler to Evans, and Evans drains it. Here's Gauss, fighting to the basket, and got it. Evans was all alone, and an easy score. Nobody was covering Destiny Evans there. As the Cardinals can now feel the pressure with a minute to go here in the third quarter, as they are getting rocked 55-38. Oh, and that doesn't go in. How did that not go in? Gauss is fouled by Beeler. It'll be 2 shots. Wave of substitutes coming in here as Amari McKnight, Samisha Connor, and Sydney Spence all enter the game for the Cardinals. 2 shots for Morgan Gauss. Drains the first. Second, not as much luck. Now Harden finds Nance, who just barely steps out of bounds, and the Cardinals will take possession. .45 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Sydney Spence with the ball. Spence driving to the basket and scoring. Now Harden, and Spence fouls her. Not sure if that was the best course of action, as that sends Harden to the line for 2. Drains the first. And the second. Now with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter, Catonsville looking for an answer. Here's Spence, driving to the basket, blocked by Hicks. No foul. Hicks passes it out to Harden. Harden to Nance. Nance dodges the defender and scores. McKnight with the ball. Not sure what she was doing there. As the ball bounces off the rim, and we've reached the end of the third quarter. The score 59-41 in favor of Jamestown, as the Jayhawks pulled away in this one. Quick look at the stats here as we wait for the start of the fourth quarter. Jamestown has hit 25 of 54 for 46.3%, but they have yet to hit any threes. They've been 0 of 14 on three-point percentage. Jayhawks leading the way in turnovers with 20, but they've also gobbled up a monster 52 rebounds compared to just 18 for the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals got a single one in the back half of the third quarter there. Points in the paint, forget about it. Jamestown has 32 compared to just 16 for Catonsville. Cardinals doing much of their scoring from outside the paint. Leading the way for Jamestown again is Destiny Evans with 23 points, 16 rebounds. What a night for Destiny Evans. Leading the way in assists is Dazani Harden. As for the Cardinals, Morgan Gauss has 21 points. Rebounding-wise, Cash Waters and Sydney Spence have 3 each. And in terms of assists, it's a 3-way tie between Spence, McKnight, and Hogg, each with a single one. As we begin the fourth quarter, Catonsville with the ball. Sydney Spence. Rebound. Cardinals. Hogg got it. Ball nearly stolen by Gauss. Catonsville trying to get physical here. Nance passes to Beeler. Beeler to Evans. And Evans drains that one. Here's McKnight. Fighting to the basket. Rebound Hicks. Boy, she is a monster in the paint. Here's Harden. Dumps it off to Nance. Jump ball. Little bit of jawing going on there between Sydney Spence and Kimmy Nance. Nance will inbounds for the Jayhawks. Stolen away by Hogg. Hogg, with 2 players to beat, goes for the layup. No good. Rebound Nance. Evans, fighting for the basket, nearly grabs her own rebound. Instead, it's picked up by Spence. Spence fights for it. No good. And another rebound for the Jayhawks. They just keep adding to that total. Beeler nearly loses control of that one. Hangs on to it. Takes a shot. Blocked by Hogg. McKnight catches the deflection. Dumps it off to Spence. Finds McKnight. Fighting to the basket. McKnight got it and one! McKnight took a tumble. She's on her feet and okay. It'll be 1 for Amari McKnight. Quick foul called there. On Sydney Spence. Here's Beeler. Pass was to Harden, who lost control of the ball, knocked out of bounds, and possession will go to the Cardinals. The score 61-45 in favor of the Jayhawks with 7 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the second half. Foul called there as Gauss was charging to the basket. Gauss will inbound it to Cash Waters. Got it! Bang! From 3. That was a huge 3. There's a quick foul called here on the Cardinals. Foul was on Amari McKnight. Here's Gauss. Flips it off to Spence. Spence spins. Travel called. Jamestown's going to call a timeout here. Got about 7 minutes to go here in the second half. The score 61-48 in favor of the Jayhawks. Harden, double teamed there for a second, finds Hicks, travel called. Travel on Hicks, and the Cardinals will get another chance here. Here's Gauss. Well, any chance the Cardinals may have had there wiped out as a foul is called on Samisha Connor. It just feels like every chance that Catonsville has had to make this game close, a mistake or an untimely foul has caught up to them. And they've had plenty of chances here in the second half, as that's going to be an ugly foul called on Amari McKnight. Ball will be inbounded once again by Beeler. So Mari McKnight exits the game, replaced by Tanaya Hogg. Beeler inbounds it to Harden, who immediately falls down. Finds Beeler, who finds Hicks, muscling her way through the paint. Rebound Connor. Connor finds Spence, drives to the basket, knocked down. Ball was out of bounds. Possession will go to the Jayhawks. No good on that three-pointer by Destiny Evans. Cardinals with another chance as we've reached the 6-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Here's a nice three by Cash Waters, no good. Rebounded by Hicks. Harden. Foul is going to be called there on Harden. Cardinals looking for a chance here. Spence with the jumper, no good. It's got to feel agonizing when the ball hits the rim, just kind of dances there. Not really going in, not really going out, just not really making up its mind on what it wants to do. That ball is knocked out of bounds. It will be inbounded by the Cardinals. And immediately inbounded to Beeler. Charges to the basket, finds Evans, easy bucket. Evans continues to extend the lead here for that. Well, as I say that, Hogg banks in a three-pointer. Beeler finds Hicks, no good. Rebound, Cardinals. Here comes Spence. Spence finds Gauss. Gauss charges, no foul there, stolen away by Hogg. Hogg to Spence. Gauss was slow to get up. Here's Nance with an easy bucket. That was another example there, as a timeout is called, another example of the Cardinals getting a great opportunity suddenly that just doesn't go anywhere. It's felt like that all night. The Cardinals have had so many chances here in the second half to get a run going, to try and get within 9 points, make this game competitive. But mistakes, turnovers, and that awful rebound differential have been the result. About 4.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Just checking in on the stat breakdown. Morgan Gauss with 21 points, leading the Cardinals. Leading the way in assists. It's a four-way tie between Gauss, Hogg, McKnight, and Spence, each with a single one each. Rebounds, Sidney Spence leading with 5. Meanwhile, for Jamestown, Destiny Evans leads the way with 27 points. Nance and Harden Harden with 6 assists and 16 rebounds for Evans. Seven seconds on the shot clock. Here's a three. Oh! Those are the worst to see, folks. When the ball kind of dances in there as Evans misses that jumper. And it is put in by Nance, and it'll be a foul called at the same time. Nance. Got it. Here's a three by Hogg. Not enough power on it. Rebound Cardinals. And Samisha Connor trying to pass over Hannah Hicks. Not going to happen. Nance fouled again. Second time in a row that Nance has been fouled on her way to the basket. It'll be 2 points. Excuse me, it'll be 2 shots for Nance. Entering the game for the Cardinals now, number 23, Takira Burden. First one bounces off the rim. Nance drains the second one. The score with 3.5 minutes to go in the game, 69-51 in favor of the Jayhawks. Cash Waters. Hogg passes out to Gauss. Gauss blocked by Hicks and fouled by Hicks. Oh, excuse me, ball was just knocked out of bounds. Mario McKnight entering the game now, replaces Nicaea Marshall. Gauss will inbounds it. Gauss will find Hogg. Little too much power there. And a foul is going to be called. Foul was on Destiny Evans. As Tykira Burden will go to the line, shooting 2. Burden looking for her first points of the game. And she's got it. Burden misses the second. And a quick foul called there. Foul was on Waters. So Harden will go to the line for 2. Folks, we'd just like to remind you that this is only part 1 of a 2-part doubleheader between the Jayhawks and the Cardinals. Be sure to stick around for 8 p.m.'s men's basketball action between these two teams as Harden drains her second. The score 70-52 in favor of the Jayhawks in a game in which rebounds have been McKnight misses a layup there. Rebounds have been the difference in this game between these two squads. That basket won't count as a quick foul was called. Harden to the line for 2. Gets the first. She gets the second. It'll make it a 20-point advantage and all but put the game away for the Jayhawks. Misses the second. Picked up by the Cardinals. Ball knocked out of bounds off of Morgan Gauss's shoulder, and the Jayhawks will take over once again. It's not just been rebounds that have been the difference. It's been mistakes like that all night long for the Cardinals that have cost them in this game. As here's Beeler, slips, falls down, travel called. Here's Cash Waters. Woo, that was pretty. Waters stems the bleeding there for the Cardinals as Evans with a fake. Misses. The ball will go out of bounds, and possession, I believe, will stick with Jamestown. Hicks will inbound it. 2 minutes to go here in the second half. The score 71-54 in favor of the Jayhawks. Hicks will inbounds. Goes to Beeler. Beeler to Nance for 3. No good. Here's Waters driving to the basket, blocked by Evans, and a foul. Waters to the line for 2. She'll drain the first. And the second. Nance driving to the basket. No good. Rebound Cardinals. Excuse me. Ball could. Oh, we got a little. Twisted up there. As that ball was knocked out of bounds. Possession will go to Catonsville. Referees having a discussion here mid-court. As Jamestown's going to call a timeout. While we have this timeout, folks, just want to bring up the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. Jamestown, in the midst of a little road trip here through Maryland, will play tomorrow against CCBC Essex, the sister school of the Cardinals here. They'll be at 1 p.m. Their next home game is not until Wednesday, December 1st, against Butler County Community College of Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, their next contest will be Sunday, November 21st, 2 p.m., against the Community College of Beaver County right here at the Jack Manley Wellness and Athletic Center. It's part of a 7-game homestand to start the season off for the Cardinals. Their first road game of the season, well, their next road game will be on December 3rd against Chesapeake College. With 1:30 to go in the second half, the game well in hand. Jamestown leading 71-56 over the Cardinals in a game that has been dominated by mistakes and rebounds, of which the Jayhawks have been able to take full advantage of. Leading the way for the Cardinals statistically, Morgan Gauss with 21 points. Cash Waters right behind her with 14 points. Then it's a two-way tie for third between Janiyah Hogg and Amory McKnight with 7 points each. It's been a difficult evening for the Cardinals, as Morgan Gauss will go to the line to shoot 2. I believe the refs decided that there was a foul on that little scrum before the timeout. Foul was called on number 22, Zalika Stevens. Gauss drains that one. Good passes here by the Jayhawks, and a foul called as Hicks was driving towards. Hicks was attempting a shot in the paint. It's going to be a technical foul. Excuse me, Catonsville foul, excuse me. Hicks drains her first. And her second. that's going to be a turnover. One minute to go here in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Scous's shot bounces off. Rebound, no good. Rebound was by Burden. Ball stolen away by Cash Waters. Driving to the basket. Waters will score. That'll make it a 13-point deficit on the scoreboard. 30 seconds to go. And it looks like Harden. Harden will just dribble it out with 10 seconds to go. A thorough performance by Jamestown tonight as the final bell will sound. And the final score, ladies and gentlemen, Jamestown Jayhawks 73, Catonsville Cardinals 60. Oh, wait, we might not be done just yet. The referee just put 0.3 seconds left on the clock. Technicality, it would seem. Have to finish this game in its entirety. Cash Waters puts up one last shot, no good, and that will officially bring it into the game. The final score, Jamestown Community College 73, CCBC Catonsville 60. It was a frustrating evening for the Lady Cardinals. That's pretty much all you can say in these circumstances. Well, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's action, ladies and gentlemen, and as of course, be sure to stick around on the YouTube channel. We will be posting a live stream of the men's game, the second part of our doubleheader, as the Jayhawks men's team takes on the Cardinals men's team. From Jack Manley Wellness and Athletic Center, this has been Isaac Donsky signing off